Hey VC, Tony here, Tony's LPs Are Us, back in Studio B, showing you my vintage Living in the Material World LP, George Harrison, April 1973 release. Some of the artwork. This is an insert from the original with the full lyrics. Really nice stock paper. And this is called As It Is by Vagabhi. Beautiful Hindu artwork. And it reminds me of this artwork from Axis Boulder's Love, which ironically I listened to last night because last night was the anniversary of Jimi Hendrix's death, I think 54 years ago in London. So this artwork is Hindu artwork, probably from the same painting, the same series of paintings. But the funny thing was, Hendrix didn't want Asian Indian, he wanted Native American Indian on the cover of Axis Boulder's Love, and by some strange, bullshit, red tape, bureaucracy at that time with Reprise Records or whatever, that was the cover. And even with all the clout that Jimmy had, they elected not to change it. So that was supposed to be Native Americans. Hendrix had some Native American blood in him. So this is called As It Is. This is Hindu. Here we have the beautiful artwork. You see, this is a Hindu medallion. I will get to the box set, which I'm supposed to be talking about. Before I go off on a tangent, the Harrison people and whatever record company announced a 50th anniversary of this album coming out in November with a 2024 remix, an album of outtakes, 2 CDs, a Blu-ray, and a 50-pound, 60-pound, or 60-page book. Probably weighs 20 pounds. I have so many of these books now from these various Beatle box sets and other box sets that I don't believe I've read one yet. I don't think I've probably flipped through them, but it's just getting to be a lot. But we're getting a booklet, a Blu-ray, all for $179. So living in the material world hasn't changed much, right? In 51 years or so. So whatever. And I'll go over what's in the box set and what you could get individually, what the deal is basically. But here's an original label that was from the 1973 release. That's Friar Park. Here's another Hindu painting on side A. And there's the record itself, mastered at the mastering lab by Doug Sachs. So the original sounds pretty good, even though it came in 1973, which is a kind of weird time because we were getting into the oil embargo. So maybe this vinyl didn't have the ill effects of the oil embargo, but it may have. But 1973 was a weird time. It was kind of a fun time. It was a fucked up time, but I don't think it was any more fucked up than 2024 with everything that's going on. I don't have to get into it with you. I really don't get into politics or world events on this station, but it is kind of screwy. The 73 we had, I guess we were getting the end of the Vietnam War, which was good. We had bell bottoms, we had afros, we had long hair, we had curly hair, we had earth shoes. What else did we have? Hip huggers, and we had the oil embargo. We also had the first cell phone call. This person called Cooper Martin or something Cooper made the first cell phone call in New York City in 1973, right at the time this record was released. And also fiber optic cable was invented. So some pretty cool stuff. This record was recorded in some Apple and most of it at Friar Park. And the Friar Park which was the Friar Park studio is FPS HOT. FPS HOT, and you'll see that on some of the credits. And that stands for Friar Park Studios, Henley on the Thames. So Friar Park Studio, Henley on the Thames. You heard it first here at LPs R Us. And thanks everybody for stopping in. I'm getting hoarse. I've been talking a lot to people on the phone today. A few friends called and my cousin called. But the cool thing about this record is we're getting a new 2024 mix. I just listened to this record, Doug Sachs cut, engineered by some other famous folk, but sounds good, but it could definitely use an upgrade. My copy's in pretty good condition. I just cleaned it. My copy's of excellent condition, rather. But I want to thank everyone again stopping in. If you haven't subbed, please sub. Now I'm going to show you the inside of the original. Maybe that's the Last Supper. Maybe that's the last time these guys are getting together. Here's some credits, and it'll show you, tells you who's on the record. Nicky Hopkins, Gary Wright. You can hear Nicky Hopkins on this record. Klaus Vorman, you can hear on this record. George Harrison plays all the guitars, so he doesn't bring in any axe help. He doesn't bring in Eric or any people like that. Jim Horn playing flute and sax, some great sax on here. Zakar Hussain does the sitar type of music and tabla, I guess. John Barham does the string arrangements. So just a cool record, recorded at Apple Studio and at Friar Park for the most part. And like I said, Doug Sachs. The design is Wilkes and Braun, and they came up with this, the medallion, and on the back you see a silver dollar and 2 American quarters. So that's pretty cool. The nice thing about this was when Harrison released this, he had indicated that, I'm not sure which tracks, but 9 out of the 11 tracks, the royalties were going to his Material World Charitable Foundation. So he was always in that mood of helping. Concert for Bangladesh was one of the first benefit rock concerts, or the first, as far as I know. Here is the box set that's coming out. So you have a book, you have the records, you have the CDs, you also have a 7-inch. So that's pretty cool. The full box set will cost you about $179 plus all the taxes that go with your state. $40 for the single remix version, $65 for the double remix with outtakes version, $33 or so for the CDs. The single is not available individually, I don't think. Neither is the book. They never are. So this is coming out in November, which is weird because it's at the heels of this. This is the CDs, but the American 64-65 Beatle releases that came out on Capitol in America. So we're going to get 2 major Beatle issues in November and October, and it's not over yet. There's a new Hendrix box set coming out. There's so many. There's just too much to get into. And the person who, I just have my notes here, the person who made the first cell phone call was Martin Cooper, so you can look him up. We also have a slipcase with this box, so it'll be a really nice slipcase. I think it's 5,000 global made, so it's for you folks who have fear of missing out, FOMO. You may want to get it right away. I don't know if it's going to sell out right away, but $179 is almost the price of a UHQR or a one-step, $150 for one record that sometimes disappoints. Do you really need to buy a $150 record anymore? I don't know. The Rhinos do a great job, but that's a whole nother issue. So just that, this was it. Just a quick announcement about this box set. 50th anniversary, Living in the Material World. Remastered. It could use a remastered. It was recorded pretty cool in Friar Park Studios and Apple. I think George had a 16-track layout tape recording studio. So 16 tracks is nothing today, but back then it was a big deal. There's lots of things written about this on Wikipedia and online, and there's some great videos of some of my colleagues on YouTube that did a great little entry on this, which I watched a few clips of those, and then I delved into some research. But I did listen to it. I wanted to get that vibe. I don't know what my favorites are on here. Give Me Love, of course, international hit. This album was #1 in the U.S. Knocked out Red Rose Speedwagon, which was McCartney's solo. Sue Me, Sue You Blues. Don't Let Me Wait Too Long. The Lord Loves the One That Loves the Lord. Try Some, Buy Some. So just a great 73 collection. And like I said, 73 was a screwed up year, but I don't think it's as fucked up as stuff's going on today. But that's another issue. We have to stop. We have to stop all these wars and this rhetoric, this hateful rhetoric and stuff. But just to give you an idea, I pulled this out, the Beatles Illustrated record. I think this goes almost up to 74. So this was printed in Italy. This was only $6.95. It's one of the first Beatle memorabilia items I've ever bought. And now I need a whole warehouse, basically, to store it. But we had Mind Games. We had Ringo with Photograph. Ringo. We had Living in the Material World, obviously. And there's some pictures of Ringo in the cover with the medallion. And we have the Beatles Red and White. Red and Blue came out, 73. So this is a nice little pickup. If you see this online, I don't think they're too expensive anymore. They're all over the place. So a lot of stuff was happening in 73 Beatle-wise, and a lot of stuff's going to happen in 2024 Beatle-wise. So that's it. I'm starting to ramble. I just want to thank everyone for coming by. I want to thank everyone for subscribing. I want to thank everyone for your cards and letters and your gifts. I got a few t-shirts from some friends, viewers, and stuff like that. So stay safe. Let's treat people nice. Listen to music. Turn kids onto vinyl. And we'll be seeing you soon. Hope you like this video. Please let me know if you're going to pick this Living in the Material World Deluxe box set. Not just a box set, but a hybrid deluxe box set with a 7-inch record and CDs and a Blu-ray for that system, that 5.1 thing or whatever. So keep rocking. It might be Atmos. I don't know. But keep rocking. And thanks a lot. If you haven't subbed, please sub. Really appreciate it. Stay safe. Ciao. I'm shutting it off now.